So Lakshman, Qapita is aiming to organize this space better by building systems to manage ESOP life cycle, and also more importantly, communicate and engage with employees more frequently. How does technology help startups democratize not just access to ESOPs, but also unlock liquidity, which today is a luxury only for the well-funded startups?
Yes, I think two aspects. I think that is what I think earlier Shantanu and Ruchi and Chaitanya also raised about communication of the value of the ESOPs to the employees. I think one of the biggest pain point for founders, which they said, is once you communicate, every time people still questions keep coming asking. One is that, like Shantanu mentioned, employees don't know the value because it's not a public company and they don't know the share price. They see only valuation in the public whenever there's a round and some articles. And second is that since there's no liquidity till the time of IPO or a purchase or when there's an institution, they don't value the ESOP. I think tools like us, what we do is communicating that value of the ESOP. For example, Qapita, like what we do is we created this thing called equity payslip. Like employees get a salary payslip, there is an equity payslip. When at the end, if there's a monthly vesting, the employees at the end of each month, they get their salary payslip and also equity payslip. And like the way Shantanu was earlier explaining how to show the value, it has in one page, it shows what is your total options, what is your currently vested, unvested, and what is the progression in your vesting, and what is the based on the current value of the share price, what is the current value of both vested and unvested. So if you continue in the organization, what based on the current share price, and there's a graph showing that from if the share price currently is 100 going up to 300, what would be your value going from 100 based on that. So it is a very communicative value to communicate the value of the ESOP. This thing and all the tool providers like us provide an intuitive dashboard to the employees where employees can log in and see this whenever they want. And we also help both the companies and also the employees through providing a digital workflow. So earlier, it was a very cumbersome procedure, both in terms of administering it and also in terms of accounting, which Ruchi was earlier mentioning. We have now digitized the entire workflows, whether creating the plan, issuing the grants or e-signs or exercising the shares or buyback of the shares. All this is all digital and everything is on a click of a button. But I think one thing which you asked, which is what we are looking and which we are working on to provide in the next 2 months, is a liquidity module, which currently we discuss. The liquidity comes whenever you raise a new fundraise. Right? Obviously, liquidity comes when you do an IPO or when there is a sale of the company, but also when you are raising a Series B, Series C. But what we are trying to say is that we should bring some predictability in this liquidity to the employees. Can the company says that we will provide liquidity every June of the year. You will have, and employees can sell 20% of their ESOPs at this year. And to facilitate that liquidity, we will be coming up with a liquidity module where we will also not only provide the software to provide that buyback and provide that structured liquidity, we'll also bring investors to facilitate that buyback. So that companies will say that, okay, we have these sets of investors who are ready to buy your ESOPs in your company, and we'll bring that liquidity. First, you can give it to your existing investors on your cap table. But if the investors, we will also get the external investors who are a bunch of external investors who are interested to buy stakes in these established companies. We provide structured liquidity, so it's win-win to the investors, to the employees, and to the companies. And this price at which the buyback happens also is agreed with the founder. It's not currently the liquidity happens and people are selling shares outside the system, but this will be in agreement with the company and working with the company and the founders and the management.
Revolutionize your startup's equity management with Qapita. Request a demo today.